Ladies and gentlemen, SookyMMA is back for UFC Vegas 51. But before we get into the new card, let's revisit the old one. UFC 273 kicked off last weekend, or just a couple days ago, and your boy's a little pissed off. Let's start with the first reason, shall we? If I had gotten my pick'em card out a little bit earlier, I would have been able to give my updated one, which involved Olenek instead of Vandera, and Arce versus Santos. I probably deserve a couple punches to the face for the Arce versus Santos pick, but I did buy into my Do Bronx hype. I'm that kind of guy. I thought maybe the chin issues might come into play, but Song Yadong is Song Yadong, and I'm a clown for that one. And the big thing for me was I was really happy with that Mickey Gall fight until I wasn't, right? I thought Mickey did a great job of staying on his feet, being competitive. Look at Mallett's face at the end of that little rush there, but in true Mickey Gall fashion, we saw him become a little irresponsible. Decision-making was thrown away, and he left himself wide open for the better striker, who had the better odds as well, lay him out completely. I hope he's doing okay after that, because that was a pretty bad KO. But for me, I mean, bittersweet, right? As much as I really believed Mickey as an underdog could hold his place in that first round and then try to work his way into the groundwork later in the fight as, you know, Mike got a little tired. But, I mean, some more talent from north of the border, baby. Mike Malott coming through hard. Looking forward to that next fight, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be a great one. Well, let's move on from there. I really have a bone to pick with this Tecia Torres decision. I mean, I look at the numbers and I revisit the stats, and I just think 1 in 3 was Tecia Torres. As you look at the split, I just thought maybe you give Mackenzie the 10-8 for the draw in the second, but outside of that, your boy had a great amount of fun money to play with after that. So I'm a little disappointed that Tecia Torres line had me just marveled, and I was really interested in seeing that make a huge step up in my bankroll. But outside of that, you know, I really do want to lead this into the Aljo and Jan conversation, because I really want to congratulate Aljo. I don't even care if people had, you know, bets on Aljo, bets on Jan. It doesn't matter. You know, we're going to get into this conversation right now, but judging is subjective in itself. To see everybody arguing about robberies versus, you know, close fights, they're not interchangeable. The fact of the matter is you are arguing about a subjective decision made by subjective individuals in something where there is no standardized rule system. We might think that we understand what it is considered to be a points-based system for MMA, but the fact is we don't. We don't know how much to give towards grappling, BJJ, and wrestling, and ground and pound versus a, you know, striker who hits 4-to-1 striking differential. That 4-to-1 striking differential seems to win more often than not. My point here is that until we develop a very standardized breakdown of how to measure the quality of all of these strikes and grappling moves and, you know, ground and pounds, all of these types of things that make mixed martial arts what it is, we're not going to have an objective way of looking at this. So when I see all these people going hard, and guys like me who just really do try to be unbiased about it based on how long, like, we've been watching and dealing with this, but think about it like this. There's a brand new generation of MMA fans coming in right now, and they're talking about the same damn thing. You got the Lees, you got the Sal Diamatos still doing their funny business. And I mean, I can think back to the Cecil Peoples and Mike Goldberg days. It's the same thing. We're just, you know, bringing on new people for the ride. And so that's where we need to realize with this addition of social media and everything to it. Yeah, sure, let's talk about how we might think that it should have gone the other way, or it should have gone the other way. But robbery is not the word. That's the difference here. Close fights with decisions that didn't go your way or that you might unbiasedly think should have gone another way, that's a different story. But robberies are not to be used in these situations. So congratulations to congratulations to Aljo. Definitely a subjectively controversial decision, but at the end of the day, a lot of them are, and I think that's a reality of the sport. It makes you want to give up doing these picks and these bettings and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, that's what comes with the sport. Just like if an umpire missed a, you know, strike 3 check call at home plate, I mean, it's kind of similar, but that sport's really old, and I feel like they have found a lot more consistency than we have, but we'll get there. And I think right now, one of the things that, you know, do tickle my fancy a little bit is the live updates. One of the things that make me absolutely pissed to my core is watching these memes and these videos of judges in the middle of fights on their phones, watching other shit. And then they take 10 minutes to give us a scorecard after the fight's over. Excuse me. You should have had 2 done already. You only had to fill out 1, and it's live. What's happening? You have to tally those numbers? What are you dealing in 5 digits? Come on now. This is ridiculous. So that's where I pinpoint the problem. If there was something to very much pinpoint right now, it's probably the quality of the decision making in general. Just the quality. I think that's where we're having an issue. The subjectivity is a much bigger problem that is going to have to get addressed by much bigger parties than the Instagram folks and guys like me who love this sport a little too much and get to do this with as much side time as they can have. So I'm really excited for the fights this weekend. As you can see, based on that 6-6 once again, we get hit pretty hard with a 76-58 record on 2022 with a 6-5 Super Saiyan pick. Your boy does not want to go 50-50 on the Super Saiyan pick. So this weekend, we are going hard, ladies and gentlemen. UFC Vegas 51. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about some great fights. Vincent Luque, if I had an award for the most underrated fighter of the last year, I would give it to him. Without question. I've been saying it for time. There's nobody that should be talked about more that isn't than Vincent Luque. So let's look forward to these fights. Keep that hype going because Suki's pumped.